Good morning and welcome to Trading with Larry. It's Larry Benedict, joined by Eric Shamalov on a Monday morning. I hope everyone watching had a nice weekend, nice and relaxing down in South Florida. So that was pretty good. And back at it today. And markets last week. Bubble keeps getting bigger. The bazooka bubble is getting really big. And today makes me even more leery of how crazy and insatiable the appetite to own stocks is. The only news I saw over the weekend that was significant was, which I think is pretty crazy, that the government is taxing Nvidia and AMD for selling chips into China. What about anyone else selling chips into China? They don't get taxed. So they're taxing them supposedly. I mean, it's rumor. I don't know if it's fully out, 15%. And then the best part about it is when they sold the H20 chip in Nvidia rallied $9 that day. Okay. It added $250 billion in their multi-trillion dollar market cap. Now I'm reading stories out of China. They're not buying the chip. That's what I thought the whole time. Why would they buy our technology, put it in their stuff so that we could basically read through everything that they're buying? I just don't see them buying it. But either way, I figured this, overnight after seeing that news that the market would be skittish. And of course, the market is up. So if you can explain to me, I know Nvidia is down about $1, a full dollar. It rallied 9 off just them selling H20 chips into China. It's never going to happen. Never. So, we're shorting Nvidia off of this. And I just think the market is so bubblicious that it's like ridiculous. Like how explain to me what is up today? There's no market up. I don't see anything.
I'll tell you one thing that was up pretty big last night. Coinbase was up pretty big. It was trading at like three.
Actually, I have a position in Coinbase and trade it very actively. Okay, very, very actively. And the reaction to a brand new high or close to a high in Bitcoin, the stock's off $130 and up like $12. It was up way higher last night. Like there's something wrong with this stock. I don't, this is not even a proxy anymore.
You're one of a kind. You're long and you're complaining that it went up too much. I love it.
What went up too much?
Coinbase.
I said it's not up enough.
Oh,
Something is
all
wrong
right.
with it. That's what I'm saying. The stock is up $9, Eric. 9 at 320. It was higher than that basically yesterday, the day before yesterday when Bitcoin was 16,000. So
What's your basis on it? You bought in like at 300 and change, something like that?
no, I'm out of that name. I'm out.
Oh, you're out.
Yeah, I'm out. Yeah, I'm out. I got out. So I'm out of the name, but I got out higher than where we are now, even now. And Bitcoin is 3,000 points higher, maybe more than 3,000. The whole thing doesn't make sense. There's something wrong in Coinbase. Coinbase should be up a lot more than $10 today. Just my opinion. And when that happens for traders out there, it puts up the red flag saying, holy cow, why is the stock only up $10? It should be up a lot more. So we got to look at that on the opening. We're going to reestablish positions in there again this week. But, the day before yesterday, Coinbase closed at like 320 and it's 320 now. And we, you know, basically basically spiked 5,000 points in Bitcoin. So I'm not really sure. So, but Coinbase is up. It is up $10, but it acts yucky. And today, I would be shocked how they're going to hold the market up. Today is one of these days where it's the reverse. I'm going to make up a name. We used to say it on the floor, the reverse jammy. So it's the reverse jammy of what it's been doing every day, which was buying Nasdaq and selling Dow and leaving S&P. So today it looks like they want to buy the Dow. Okay, I don't know what's up in the Dow, but they want to buy the Dow up over 100, and Nasdaq is basically flat. So we got the jammy going the other way today. Some algorithmic computer out there in Spaceland has, basically put this position on, and you either have to wait for them to turn the button off or whatever's going to happen. But a lot to talk about. Obviously the big news is this Nvidia news that the market is completely discounting. That's number one. Number two, why is gold down 100? I'm wondering. You're
Yeah,
my gold
gold,
bug. You're my gold bug.
gold.
You must not have a position because you have color. Usually you would have no color and be broken. But I mean
I
that's
felt, I felt, you know, very strange last night. Right at the open, I decided to short gold. I didn't get the whole move down, but I got quite a bit of it. But I always feel weird shorting gold. Like I know I shouldn't long
why.
term be in.
Why do you care? Why do you what do you have a personal friendship with it? You're shorting a friend?
Because I know that the long only side of the trade is going to work much better than trying to mix it with short positions. This was a little bit different uh, because of the policy changes last week. Trump decided to uh, let the market know that he's not going to tariff foreign gold bars, and maybe it looks like there was some
Well, why
premium.
didn't the market go down last week? Why did it go down over the weekend? That
Yeah,
news came out last week, so I don't know. I mean, I don't really, I don't. That's a market I don't understand. I'm leaving that to you. But I want to just go through something for our
what
subscribers.
do you think about it here? Do you think
I
this is
think it's a zero. I'm not trading it. I think it's a no area. Gets down into the 3,200 handle, 100 points lower than this, maybe it's a buy. I don't know. I mean, listen, you got a weird thing, and I don't want to talk a lot about it today, but the thing is up 30% for the year, and it's crashed off the high. So
what are the two best performing assets this year?
probably gold. What I'm looking at here,
And,
gold. I don't
and
know. Live
Bitcoin.
cattle done pretty well. I don't trade. Only
Bitcoin.
you trade live cattle, so live cattle's up 20%.
It's
Um,
gold and Bitcoin, man.
well, I don't know where Bitcoin started the year, so it would be nice to know actually what that's up for the year because I don't know exactly where that started the year, but I don't. I don't really. And Bitcoin is a weird asset class because Bitcoin being up 25%. Here, I'll get an idea. Do you know where Bitcoin started the year? I'll go off of one of these ETFs to sort of get an idea. Um, but if Bitcoin is up 20% for the year, that's not enough for these guys. You're living in a crazy land when you're trading Bitcoin. Okay. The land is crazy. Okay. Basically they need 200, 300, 400% gains. That's why you're looking at Bitcoin as the asset class. Literally, Ethereum's up more. Every single altcoin is up more. So they've left, Bitcoin is being dragged actually along in my mind by other coins going up. You can't make enough on Bitcoin because it's $120,000 instrument and you have to put up 120,000 to buy one coin. So why not go to XRP where you could put up $3? So, or Solana or any of these other, you know, coins. So that's where I think you see more of the up move this year and more of the action. But look at Coinbase. Pull up the Coinbase chart. I mean, Coinbase is $130 off the high or more. Okay, it's 30% off the high, and Bitcoin's making a new high. So I don't know how you can use that as even a proxy for Bitcoin or any of the altcoins. To me, I think Coinbase is a buy for a trade. It's just very difficult because it's a
I'm still holding my Coinbase. I'm still holding it, so trying to figure out what to do there.
what do you have to figure it out? What are you going to figure out? You're going to either sell it or not
I
sell
did take the profit. I don't know. You're saying it should go higher.
I think right, but that's in
The
trading.
reason I got into the trade was because of you, by the way. You gave me a good recommendation.
Oh,
So don't say I never listened to you.
oh, thank you. I think you listen to me all the time. That's probably why you shorted gold. You would never, you came on the air and actually said you would never short gold. You actually
Never,
said that in this podcast. You literally
never,
said you would never short gold. So,
never, except when it needs to be shorted, but
uh,
otherwise never.
I don't know why. Listen, I learned I was going to just go over a story, an old story. Um, of trading. It relates to 9/11, which, I always like kind of feel bad about talking about and whatever. We should always remember it and all of that. But so during 9/11, when the first plane went into the building, I got a call of sort of what happened. And I'm a trader and I shorted the market because you're supposed to, trade the market unemotionally. You don't let external things come into your thought process. But obviously, this is the first time that anything like that has ever happened in this country, and I sort of didn't feel great about it. But I'll tell you what happened was I shorted the market, and the market was actually in a period kind of like the period we're in now, not a bubble. Now we're in a full bubble, but a period where no matter what news came out, it was contrived as good news, not bad news. Um, so it came across the tape that small plane hit the World Trade Center. Literally, I'm short the market. The market explodes up. Now, you can't explain to me why it would explode up, but you know, the news headline made them buy the market. Okay. Obviously, when the second plane went in the building, now you got to remember no stocks were really trading that day. It was pre market when this happened. The only thing that was trading is stuff I was doing in futures. So when the second plane went in, I'm like, you know what? I don't feel good about making money off an event that's a really tragic event. So I called my futures broker and I'm like, listen, I'm going to pick my kids up. I don't know what's going on. Just cover the futures. So I covered the futures, made really good money. But if I would have not covered them, it would have been 10 times the amount of money. Okay. But you never look back at that. But the reason why I'm telling this story was we were closed for a full week of trading. I don't know how many of the people on the podcast that are listening to us were trading them, but the only way to really gauge the markets we were trading in Europe and Asia every day. While no one was trading in the US, we were trading Europe and Asia, and markets were looking really weak. And then we opened a week later, and I decided, and this is when I learned my lesson sort of the hard way. I bought everything. I was Mr. Patriotic. I was going to save the market single-handedly, okay? Then that was like my emotion from the trade. Well, guess what? No one else had that emotion, and they jammed the stock market up my butt, and I ended up losing tons of money. Eventually, about a year later or whatever, the market had come back like it always does. But that's not the way we trade. But the reason why I'm bringing up the story is it's very important as a money manager trader to be unemotional in the sense of, falling in love or protecting. Like, we're just here to make money and borrow. We're borrowing the instruments that we're trading, and the instruments that we're trading as professional traders, we may never trade again. So I may trade XYZ stock and I may not trade it for 10 years. It was funny. Someone brought up a company called Iowa Beef Products. Okay. And I remember trading that 30 years. I haven't traded that stock in 30 years, probably 25 to 30 years. That's how this game works. So you go where the market is hot, you borrow ideas, make money, and move on to the next idea. That's why when you say like you don't feel comfortable doing this or that, there are times where you could be comfortable buying, and there's times you could be comfortable selling. It's just the way the market is. So, basically from that story, I just want to let people understand that we're going to trade unemotional. Okay. We're going to trade what the market gives us, and equating it back to the Coinbase, like something's wrong in the stock because the stock doesn't act right. So, yes, it is up $10. It was up 17 overnight. It looks like either there's a seller. I don't know if it's the company. I don't know if they're going to do a spot secondary or whatever, but the stock looks not great. But what happens in that is things change. So this stock could look heavy, and then all of a sudden, buyer comes in and it looks light. So that's our job, to help you out there ascertain what's going on in the markets, and try to make money from what the market is sort of telling us. And you know, today is an interesting day in equities. I mean, it's kind of weird. It's actually weird that the market is. I mean, I know it's up because it has to go up for whatever reason. I don't know, but all the external news and everything out there, to me today especially, doesn't look so great. Okay, think about this. On Friday, we rallied two different times during the day because Trump was going to basically get a peace deal done in Ukraine. Okay. And he was going to meet Putin. Okay. So he is going to meet Putin, but it's not going to be to do a deal. Okay. The only way a deal is ever getting done there, from what we heard from Ukraine, from Zelensky, right after the close or on Saturday morning, is they're not going to sign a deal no matter what if they have to give up territory. So, my question is, we rallied because we had this whole peace thing going on. And even though we never sold off the war, since the war in 2.5 years, we're up 65%. So maybe the war is good for the market. I don't know, but I don't know if you noticed, twice during the day on Friday we rallied off of the same thing again. So it's like you don't even need anything to rally. They come up with reasons. So, when this thing breaks, it's going to be really, really interesting because they're going to buy. Listen, they're buying the dip. They probably think the market's only up four handles and spoods. They probably think is this a dip, Eric? Are they buying this dip, even though we're up? We dipped off being up 10 handles. I mean, come on. This is absolute lunacy. It's lunacy. But, we're here to try to help everyone make money. And, we're going to look at every day for every day. Bonds are slightly up. We have a long position in TLT. I know I don't know. Are you still short it?
Yeah, short.
Okay. So it's me against you. I think the odds are like 2-1. I'm going to win this trade, but
Probably.
I think bond yields are going to touch.
I mean, I'm going up against the basically 95% probability they're cutting rates in September.
Oh, I think there are other things. I think what happens if the market goes down 4% in a day? What's bond going to do that day? I'm just
I
saying.
think it could drop. Right, bond was dropping earlier in the year as the market was tobogganing down.
That was a totally different thing. That was financing of the debt. I think
Right.
I'm just saying. I just think we're like 426. We come back down to 420. That's a good trade for me. That's what I'm looking for. If I get more, I'll take it. But I think we had a huge rally. I mean, this sets up as my mean reversion stuff that I look at. So we had a huge rally from 450 to 420, okay, which is pretty big, and 419, and then we backed up to 428 because they had to auction some product, and now I think it ticks the other way. I mean, that's just my opinion. I and like you said, they're going to cut rates, so I don't know why you think that's bad for bonds, but maybe you think it's in the market. I don't know what's going to push bond
Right.
yields. What do you think is going to push bond yields up here?
I just think I think that the amount of rate cuts the market wants and what the amount of rate cuts the market is going to get are going to be different. So I
Yeah,
also
I
think
think
the
they're only getting one rate cut, right? I mean, and maybe one at the end of the year, maybe, So I think that's in the market. I think you're going to see some slowing, actually. Obviously, I'm hoping to get out of this trade before the midweek inflation numbers. We have CPI and PPI, and I'm assuming I'm assuming they're going to be very, very light because everybody now is scared of Trump to put out bad numbers. So let's look for some light numbers on that. Um, but
and then
what
there's that the CPIs coming up. I think they're going to tick higher. I think they're going to surprise to the upside.
you
That's
think?
why I'm short bonds. I mean, I could be wrong, but
And I could be wrong, but one of us is going to be right. At least one of us will have a winning trade. That's nice. Um, and
speaking of mean reversion, look at energy prices, natural gas, crude oil. There's got to be a mean reversion trade to the upside there. What do you think?
Not loving it. Not loving it. I mean, maybe, but not loving it. I think the power of Trump and what he wants is prevalent in the market. At this point in time. So I mean, you know, oil oil might get into the low 60s. I don't know. I don't see a trade. I don't see a trade in oil. I don't really see a trade in gold at all. Okay. I see the trade in bonds, currencies. We're in this trade. Currencies are starting to act better. We're back up on the yen and we're down small on the euro. I feel very good about that trade. I think the dollar might show some strength in here, maybe during a market correction. The equity markets, unfortunately, is where I'm focused, and it just feels so like, I don't know, maybe today's the day that we get, some downside. I'm not, listen, I'm hoping I'm positioned that way and I'm positioned in a way that makes sense. So I'm hoping that we get that. Short Nasdaq over, any other index right here. I'm really expressing that short in Nasdaq, so it's working out okay for me today. But I expect a lot more. I expect a lot more. I'm hoping that the market, that Nvidia doesn't fade away before the market opening because I'm shorting that thing on the opening. I'm just explain to me how this works. They say they're selling an H20 chip. Okay, I was on vacation, so it was months ago. Okay, it was over a month ago. They're selling the chip. They haven't sold any chips. Now China came out over the weekend and their state news agency said they're not buying the 20 chip. Okay, nobody even is looking at that, which is fine. Okay, and then the United States government is like, oh, you know what? You guys are lucky. We're going to let you sell chips into China, so we're going to tax you at 15%. That's not a problem to you, honestly.
Um, I- it could be a problem. I just don't think the market is focused on it.
Eric, the market doesn't care about
I don't know why
anything.
you're focused on this so much, but I don't
Why?
think the market is really
Because the
reacting.
stock went from 160 to 169 in one day off of it. Okay, now we're at 181. So not only have we gone another basically 200 billion. I know 200 billion is nothing anymore. No, nothing. It's zero. So it's gone another 200 billion dollars up, and they haven't sold anything. And now they're saying that they're not going to buy the chips. To me, that's pretty sketchy. Okay. And the thing is, why would they want to buy our chips? I'm just lost. I don't even get it. Why would they want to buy our chips? Tell me the reason.
Quality.
They make plenty of good quality, okay, in their self, okay? I mean, come on. We wouldn't be in this problem with China if they weren't good at what they do, okay? That we're making our country, or everyone buy products here. I mean, come on.
No,
It's
you're
I mean,
making it seem like they don't, like they're completely self-sufficient in technology. It's not the case.
okay. Okay. Well, I would say they're not.
Although Jensen does believe that China will eventually win the AI race,
Well, how are they
so
going to
he's
win the AI
betting,
race if they're not even
betting
self?
big on China
Okay, well, that what you just said doesn't make sense. You just said they're not self-sufficient. Now you said they're going to win
right
the
now,
AI
right
race.
now, but
Okay,
right now, but in the near future.
Eric, they don't need our H20 chip. Trust me when I tell you that. Okay, and I would be shocked at the end of the day if, listen, if the trade war keeps going the way it is, okay, and it's a big trade war, okay, we can't sign a deal with these guys. We're not even close, okay? They're not even close. Oh, they're going to have other meetings. It'll pop on the tape that they're meeting in Indonesia with a high level and we'll rally 50 handles every. You know what's great for the market? They should hope there's no deal because every time they say there is a potential deal, they rally 50 handles. So, it's the market's about to turn its thoughts to reality. Um, I don't know if it's coming this week or next week, but like I said, in South Florida, today is the first day of school all across the Southeast. Atlanta, Georgia was last week. So people are at their desks. People that are living in my community are all home from summer vacation, camp, etc. So we're going to get a little bit more serious coming in. Keep an eye on the volume again on Friday. Record low, not record low, but very low volumes. Um, it would be nice to have a good trading day, whether that be up and then down or down and then up or some type of trading day. Like we had one last week. Was it Wednesday or Thursday? We had a great day. We opened up on the highs, up 50. We went down 40. Every computer went like this, dude. Turn it off. Go in and shut it. So they had to shut the computer like midday and then the market came back. But it's not good for these algos, any type of movement. They can't trade movement. You know that. Okay. All they do is front run order flow. And, once that gets a little out of whack, they can't, chip away and take the money that they're taking from the toll or the entry fee. But overall, I'm not bullish. Obviously, everyone knows that. Hoping, you know, Nasdaq is the trade over S&P. S&P, it's funny, it's been up literally pretty much all night other than at like 2:30 in the morning it sold off a little bit. Um, but markets around the world, again, and this was Friday's case too. DAX, CAC, FTSE, all down, our market up. Today, DAX, CAC, FTSE, all down, our market up. Um, so I don't know. Japan rallied pretty good last night. I don't know if you saw that, rallied 2% overnight. Um, so that market's back positive on the year. That market, what's funny? Like if our market traded like the gold market, it would be amazing. Gold's up and down every single day. I mean, one day it's up 60 points in a row, then it goes down 80, then it goes up 50. I mean, this is a real true market. We don't have that in our market. Our market is contrived to go higher, and it's pretty much rigged. So we'll see. Ooh, look, Palantir is down $1. The first down day in 14 trading days. Okay, the stock has a $500 billion valuation with $1 billion in gross revenue for the quarter. It's pretty scary, no? None of this stuff freaks you out, right? You're all good with that, right? 14 up
Uh,
days, 14 up days in a row. There's no speculation.
your boy Thomas sent us an interesting text. He's like, 19 positive openings in the last 20, which would establish a new record, surpassing the 1997 run. Whatever.
1997. Yeah.
Records are meant to be broken, man. What are you gonna do?
I'm not doing anything, dude. I'm trying to make money. That's all we're trying to do here. I'm not trying to, figure out, whether we're going to be up 20. But yeah, we're up. Yeah, and of those 20 days, let them see how many days faded, more than usual. I mean, we've had fade days, many days. Like last
So
week,
you think today's setting up for a fade? What
well,
fade? I mean, it's not really up here.
that's what I just said. I was going to say to you, we're barely up. I
Yeah.
mean, yeah, I mean,
What do you think?
I think the Nasdaq should be down 200 today. To be honest with you, the futures. I don't know why we're up. I, I don't know why there's an insatiable appetite to buy stocks, and it's funny. They had Tesla on the dead ropes at 298 last week. It's like 335. I mean, I don't know. What did he do that was so good? They ain't selling cars. You know that. Okay. So I don't know what he's doing that's so good right now, but, you know, we'll, uh, we'll keep an eye on that.
What do you think the straddle is here at the open?
Probably low.
Well, what do you think it is?
Um, I don't know, 27, 26.
22. 22. So all that volatility, that uptick I was talking about, like at the open 2 weeks ago, it was like this every morning, 20, 21, 22 point straddle. Then all of a sudden, late last week, few days you had like 28, 30s, and now that's all gone. We're
No, that
back to
was early in the week last week. It's all gone, but they're not right. What does it matter that it's gone? That's not, dude.
so are you
I'm
buying the
telling
straddle or
you,
selling
I know you're fearless. You're the fearless five or whatever. You're not fearful. I'm fearful of doing anything in this stuff, and I do it for a living and a career. Okay, and I do it for our subscribers, etc. And I'm a lot more leery than you. Like I don't like selling a
about what?
22
About what?
about selling a 22 straddle on a 65 or
I'm
60
not
to a
selling a
$100
straddle.
product.
No, I'm not selling a straddle today.
No, I know that, but somebody is because it's 22
That is, yeah.
and I don't like it. I don't like it. And if we get down today, you might see some selling because people have, listen, summer's coming to an end. People have massive profits. Okay, massive profit. Oh, actually, let me take that back. I'm taking it back. Erase that. Nobody's selling. Okay. No retail customers selling. Maybe some hedge funds or institutions or money managers. No retail is selling. They think Nvidia's, the deal I made last week. Nvidia 200, you can't trade it for 2 years, or 250, you can't trade it for 2 years. No one will take that deal. So, so that's the bubble we're in. And I don't know. Keep an eye on the dollar today. Dollar's ticking stronger. Um, that looks interesting. Bonds look interesting to me. I know they don't look interesting to you. They look a little interesting to me. I'm long TLT. Actually, I'm long TLT common stock. I just, you could play the options here, but I like the common. It's an $87 product. The options, you're paying, there's not a lot of premium in anything, so you could buy like $2 options and be right in the money. But stock's a good way to play it here. It's at 87.60. I think it could go above 88 on this move. And that takes us probably to 423 on the yield. Then we'll reassess at that point. If we get that, we may not get that. You know, I'm going against you, so it's going to be a hard one. It's like opening day football. Me against you, one on one. So I kind of like that. And other than that, I'm not really seeing a lot. I like, again, the way I trade, I add when I'm winning. So if I'm winning short today, NASDAQ, I will add to that position. And I like the fact that Thomas hit us with that headline. You know, it's funny. I always, I haven't done it in a long time, but I've always like done that. If we had three up openings, I would be like, it's really hard, for the market, especially if it didn't do well the day before, to have an up opening. Here, it's just so many days in a row that you can't even play that. But as we're speaking, Nasdaq is actually trading flat on the day, which is wait, they better wait. I think they got the red phone going to Trump right now. What, you better say something. There's a deal. I mean, I don't understand. Let me ask you this on more news related stuff. Why is Trump even meeting? I know he freaking loves Putin, but like, why is he meeting Putin right now? What's the reason?
I don't know. Do you want me to answer your rhetorical question?
No, I want you to answer what you think the reason is that he's meeting him. To
Well,
do a
clearly,
trade deal?
no, I don't think it's a trade
Not
deal,
a
but
trade deal.
with him, trade deals are always
No,
part
not
of
a
the,
trade deal. Basically a ceasefire deal.
yeah, pretty
But
much. And
how? But he's already been told by
how much of Ukraine is he going to carve out for Putin? Is going to be on the
But we don't
on
make that, dude. Come on, you sound ridiculous. We don't make that call. They make Ukraine is making. I mean, we'll make the call up behind the scenes, but Ukraine is making that call, and they literally said they're not doing a deal to cede land. So then, that's my question: why is he meeting Putin? People are very against it. Like,
well, the
why is
better
he meeting?
question is: do you really think the market reacted to to this? I don't know.
Yes, 100%. Mm-hmm.
That doesn't bode well for the market if they're reacting to a
Why?
Russia Ukraine.
100% they reacted to that news headline. 100% on Friday.
I don't know in what way it affects them one way
I
or
don't
the
know.
other.
Were you trading on Friday? The market opened up. It
It was. I'm still
literally.
shocked that they actually went up on that news. It's a little bit
What
strange.
are you talking about? They were. This is what happened on Friday. If you were trading it, okay. Market opened up, kind of looked a little weak. All of a sudden, the market was like, it kept ripping. Okay, and I'm asking Thomas, what's going on? Why is the market going up here? What's the news? You see anything? Nothing for like an hour and a half. An hour and a half later, it comes on the tape that Russia that Trump is doing a deal. They said doing a deal, okay, to get the ceasefire, and he's meeting Putin. And you know what the market did? It actually sold off. It sold off because it ran up. Somebody, people had that news before it hit the tape. It hit the tape, and it was one of those sell the news. We came in, and then back later in the day, the same headline hit, and we rallied. So, I mean, my thought is, I don't understand why he wants to. Why is he meeting him? I just don't. I don't understand it. And then the thing is, you think Russia wanted to lose millions of troops, okay, spend gazillions of dollars on arms, okay, and then they want one territory. I mean, it just doesn't seem right. So I'm a little leery there. I think that headline could turn negative for the market. So, you know, keep an eye on that. Um, I'm wondering where Nvidia.
I'm not going to keep an eye on that at all.
Okay, all right. Don't keep an eye on it. Okay. Don't keep an eye on it.
Not keeping an eye on that, on tariffs. I'm ignoring all of that.
Okay. Okay. So I don't know what you're watching, but I'd love to know. Market action. It's the same action every day. Thomas
That's
told you
it.
we're up
That's
every
literally
day.
it. Right now. That's it. There's up until maybe the CPI report is going to be interesting, but I just think through
Time
like
out.
before, it's going to
Time
be
out.
all summer like
Time out.
this.
Time out. You think the CPI number is going to show inflation? Do you actually believe that?
Yeah.
Okay. Good luck. Okay. Good luck. Okay. If that shows inflation, who's getting fired? Somebody, somebody's getting fired. Okay.
They'll probably make sure to show inflation just to stick it to Trump.
I don't think so, dude. No one want, dude. It's about paying, getting your paid job to pay your life. Nobody's taking that chance. Okay. The number is going to be light. That's my opinion. wouldn't say light, but maybe in line to a little light, maybe. But you're not going to see anything in this number. Nothing. I'm telling you, they're paving the way for the rate cut that's coming. They don't want anything in the way of that. Okay, and I just don't see it. Listen, maybe I'm a conspiracy guy. Trump's a conspiracy guy. He came
Actually,
on
this
and said every
make
number is fake.
this would make me a conspiracy guy because nobody thinks there's going to be an uptick in inflation right now because of those rate cuts coming up in September. It looks like the market is pretty comfortable.
Well, the
Uh,
market is pricing in the rate cuts, okay? Not, the market is not the Fed hasn't said any, in,
exactly,
there's
exactly.
indications, but they haven't said anything. But overall, you know,
Maybe the market's getting a little bit ahead of themselves. So I'm just getting ready for that, right? If it's gonna surprise, I think we'll get some trading. If not, then it's okay. But you got to be ready for the scenario.
I don't see it. I just and let me ask you this, okay? They're looking for. It looks like they're looking for X food and energy of 3/10, year over year of 2.8, and CPI X food and energy 3%. I mean, I don't know, uh, and it's just I don't know. I mean, it seems first of all they want 2%, right? So if we're at 3%, what's so good about that? And they're looking for three. So hold on. The Nasdaq's down 6 points, dude. You better wait. Send out the posse. It's gonna get crazy out there. I mean, literally, no one wants to sell one stock they own. It's just an incredible. Even if they're up 150%, they don't want to sell them. I mean, I traded for years in the 80s, okay? And the 80s, we started with the market at 1,000 in the Dow, maybe a little lower. 1,000, it's 44,000 right now. It was 1,000. Like, it didn't even double. Like, no stocks doubled. And the market was very good for many, many years. This is just people have this crazy, insatiable appetite to just make money, not want to pay taxes, and take extraordinary risk. And that's not a game that we want to play where we're at. So, Nasdaq's back. It's unchanged.
The goalies are in. The
Goalies
goalies.
are in. They got them in. Defense. They're all yelling defense. Anyway, listen, quiet day all around. We're getting closer to the opening. I touched on bonds, my position in bonds. If we get 88 plus on the TLT, we're 87.60. It doesn't seem like a lot, but in bonds, that's a fairly big move. We get above that, we're good. Gold down 100. You're not giving any of our subscribers any thoughts of what to do here.
I'm
I'm
buying
looking
here.
to buy it lower.
I bought a little bit right as we're on the air, so I bought here.
Okay, so you bought here. What's the price?
What on the future?
I don't know,
34,
wherever you bought it. I don't know where you bought it. Wherever you bought it,
34
and
right
why
here,
don't you
34,
give our
34.85.
subscribers the stop out, and what you're looking to make on the upside. So if they want to follow you for some reason,
For some
they'll know
crazy
what
reason.
to do.
I think this trade is relatively simple. The overnight low is my stop. So I'm taking like 8 handles of risk. I'm thinking, hey, well, maybe it rallies into Wednesday's CPI and more. It got hit overnight on nothing. The news was out already last week. So to me, this kind of looks like some CTA repositioning, maybe people getting out late. It didn't look good technically last night at Sunday's Open, but now it flushed out, and overall, I think the trajectory in gold remains high, up. So I just continue to look for opportunities to buy. Dipped, I'm buying. That's it.
You know what's funny? I'm like literally I'm not involved in gold, but looking at everything, I would be so bearish. I just I
Number one performing asset this year. That and Bitcoin. What does that tell you?
Wait a
I mean,
second. It's the number, but this tells me something. It's the number one performing asset, and it made its high 3.5 months ago. So what is that telling you? Okay, and it was performing at 40%. It was up 40% on the year. So is that bullish? That's bullish action to you? That
letting everybody else catch up a little bit so that there's an actual race. It doesn't want to.
no, okay. All right,
It
dude.
just
Now
wants
now
to make.
you're trying to add comedy to what you're saying. It's all
I
good.
don't know. What does that tell you? What could
It
it
tells
tell
me that the asset looks terrible. I'm not saying you can't catch 100 point. The listen, it's so much better,
Larry, you've
really,
been
if you're a
consolidating
trader.
in gold for like 4 months. If we break out of that, it's going to be a violent breakout to the upside. So
Dude, we're so far from breaking out. I mean, before we break out, you're going to make 10%. I mean, that's a pretty good move. That's more than the S&P's up for the year. It's pretty good. Um, you know, I think it doesn't look great. I mean, that's just my opinion. Again, I think we get to 3280, 3290, an area where you can buy it, which it bounced off of about 4 times. You got to be careful the next time down. But how are you looking at this? It's in like complete no man's land. It's much closer to the low than the high, much. So I don't know, but I don't want to focus too much on gold. Although it is the best performing asset on my board here. You know, oil's down about 11% for the year. That's interesting.
yeah, I said commodities look pretty good this morning. All of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Oil just doesn't feel like it moves
The
enough
only the
to
only
be
problem
really
with them is
trading.
they're like natural gas is already up from its overnight low. Uh, Oil is up from its overnight low. But you look at a 15-minute chart, the last 30, 40, 50 days. If you're a mean reversion trader, you should find commodities pretty interesting right now.
Yeah, they're all in that mean reversion type mode. We're getting kind of close to the opening, so I'm gonna wrap, and I'll throw it to you if you want to after me. But basically, again, looking at bonds, okay, dollar to me seems like it may have a leg higher here. It hasn't worked, but it looks like it wants to have a leg higher. Um, what's interesting, in picking up these patterns. So, we got on the air, the Dow was up 100, the Nasdaq was up 10, and the S&P was up 8. Check this out. The Dow's only up 50, the Nasdaq is higher, and the S&P is lower. So now they're turning that squelch button, weep, like down the other way. So where it looked like Nasdaq was really going to be heavy heavy today, who knows? So we'll wait till after the opening. Again, we're going to bet tonight, or we don't bet, but we're going to take risk, and we're going to, depending on how we close, especially if we close weak against an up opening, since we've opened up 20 days in a row. But I'll throw it to you. I'm pretty done here. I think we're clear and concise. I don't know if you want to say anything.
Yeah. For me, it's a hard read on the stock market right this very second, 10 minutes before the open. You have a 22-point straddle. When I don't know exactly, I don't have a good feel for direction. You have a straddle this low. I mean, I'm just gonna wait until the market kind of hits one of those levels. Straddle 22 points. So what I'm hoping for is 22 points higher, and then I could fade that move. But not sure what to do here with the market other than wait. Commodities, I'm long. My whole book going into 9:30 is just all long commodities right now.
All right. Well, listen, I wish you luck, and we'll be back to everyone tomorrow. Good luck trading today, and stay out of trouble. Peace.